upar niche ho gaya, he feels like it was not up to the mark, we can find out which refrigerated van sent it to him. So maybe the refrigerated van had not maintained that -18 temperature. Maybe which cold room it came, maybe the cold room had not maintained the temperature. Which batch in the Bombay plant it was done, and who was the supervisor, and from which farm the potatoes came. Imagine doing it for a poor vadapav. That's the process we had to go through. Frozen logistics, ऐसा दुल्हन सच के जाती है ना, वैसा एक वहां से it goes all the way. It costs you. You go by your local train, it's okay, but when you go by Rajdhani, how much it costs you? Innovations at store level. A frozen product has to be fried in a different way. You can't fry it the normal way because it will look good reddish or yellowish, for golden brown from outside. Inside it can be -6 degree temperature. It's very dangerous for the customer. So we evolved, but we can't make a fryer like Mac. It's very costly, 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So we got a software engineer, Infosys ya kidhar se. He made a software program. I got an instrumentation engineer. So entrepreneurs did not say that I am a science graduate, I am a commerce graduate, I am an instrumentation engineer. जिसका भी हाथ पैर पकड़ के ले आओ, सबको बोलो बैठो, थोड़ा सा चाय पिलाओ, वड़ा पाव खिलाओ, और बोलो लिख यार लिख, and they have to do everything, like at every time, and luckily I had a VJTI friend and was free, and then he did this instrumentation for me. I am a typical BCom graduate. And I never knew anything, but day in day out, my father was very impressed. He said, "Itna padhai kar leta to MBA to ho jata tha," But I went through an instrumentation book to understand maybe there is a solution for finding it, and we bagged 170. The flame starts 180. The flame goes off. The oil temperature is between 170 and 180. 5 minutes is the calibration, and the tongue temperature is 70, and the viscosity of the basin is 90. Now, this is the kind of standardization we arrived for vadapav. Only I will tell you, crazy people will go about. So, entrepreneurs have to be little crazy. That craze has to be there and the passion has to be there. We did everything. We went to Bombay and said, let's raise money, because ab tak pura jeb khali ho gaya tha, we didn't have any money. And when we went to Bombay, people said, who is GOLI? What is GOLI? All typical investment banker, merchant bankers, equity guys. But I knew very well, deep inside my heart, that vadapav as a name is powerful as Amitabh Bachchan. And people used to say, you'll have to spend a lot of money to get attention. The VT station, I climbed the bridge and 10 investment bankers had rejected us, walked down with slippers and jeans, went to the nearest guy, Times of India building, and he was smoking a cigarette. I just told the story and said, why don't you visit our store in Kalyan and see our factory in Dombivli, which is far away from Mumbai, 1.5 2 hours. And the moment I said this, the next day, Times of India, Mumbai's vadapav to get American touch. The next NRI's munch into vadapav promoter story. There was a Chidambaram and Kamal Naji had organized an Indo-US summit somewhere in Grand Hyatt. And entrepreneurs do not wait for marketing budgets. We gate crashed into Grand Hyatt and told our story in front of, and next day it was in newspaper. Within a fraction of second, the media caught it, and we had some 70 odd newspapers covering us. And after all this, we didn't have to go to the investment bankers or we didn't have to go to the fund. They came to Kalyan and Dombivli. We had the best option, a stockbroker, a retailer, and we got a good valuation. Somewhere we chose a IIT, IM, Citibank MD and those kind of background. Because I thought nobody respects vadapav. Normally in India we have a culture, जो कुछ भी नहीं करता है वो बावर्ची होता है. Are you remember? The father will say, पढ़ाई बराबर करो नहीं तो waiter cook बन जाएगा. So we said we have to elevate the status of food and vadapav. So we got IIT, IIMs people to invest with us, and then suddenly the news came, IIT, IIMs investing into vadapavs, Citibank MD getting into that. So it helped us in some way or the other. We put up a few prime stores, but the challenge doesn't end. First challenge went, the second challenge went, now there was a third challenge. The third challenge was what? Real estate cost was very high and nobody in Mumbai was willing to give a store for a vadapav wala. 1.5 lakh ka bada, 2 lakh ka bada, how do you afford it? And Subiksha was growing, Reliance was growing, Big Bazaar was growing. If at all anybody wanted to give even a 300 square feet store, he will tell me Big Bazaar is going to start in 300 square feet store. So we would never get real estate. That was a big problem for us. And investors said, if we can't put stores, we will not fund you further. We will not give you the remaining. We were desperate and people said, we'll give you a week before you come out with a solution for this. I and my co-founder Shivdas were going around Nariman Point, VT, Bombay, and suddenly we saw RA milk booths on the footpath of Mumbai. What is it?